Okay, you've been doing this for a long time and you're actually very good at it, but what would you say is the #1 issue that you've got to deal with on the phones with these internet customers?
I would probably say customers who really want a price over the phone before they come in.
Okay, so now let's turn around and talk about that for a second. How do you handle price?
Well, typically we assure the customer that we are going to give them a great deal. We let them know that they do have to come into the dealership so we can find out what vehicle they like and things like that. And then we also ask them what else is important to them and where they want to purchase their vehicle, because price is the only thing that they really know to mention.
Right.
The other things.
Now, question for you, can you make an appointment without giving up price?
Yes.
Now, what would you say the ratio is from your experience? How long have you been doing this for?
A few years.
A few years you've been doing automotive internet sales coordination. What would you say the ratio is of people that you actually get to come in without giving any price? Or just using rebuttals or?
Without giving, like, people who ask about price, how many of them come in?
No, just total internet people.
Okay, maybe like, I would say, I don't know, 80 to 80% of them, I guess.
Okay, so over 80% of people you're able to get in without giving a price.
Yeah, most of them, when you don't give them the price, they will come in.
Okay. Now, question for you, the rest of the team. Would you agree with her or disagree with her? For you?
I would agree.
Agree? Okay, so this is not magic. It works. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to answer the price thing. Anthony?
Yes.
There you go. All right. The way that again, you got to understand price is going to come up. You need to be trained on how to deal with price on several different levels. First of all, there's proactive and there's reactive. Again, there's a difference. When somebody, if you go to somebody, hey, you want to come in and they're like, oh, what's the price? You have to react to that. That's an objection. That's an obstacle you got to overcome to try to get them in. Do you all agree with that? Yes. Okay, there's a different way though. If you ask somebody, what are you looking to accomplish by going on? I'm looking for the best price. You see what I'm saying? I'm being proactive. I'm instigating price. I'm bringing up price when I'm ready because I know by asking that question, they're going to probably say price, right? It is a lot easier to deal with something on a proactive level than it is to deal with something on a reactive level. Make sense? The other thing you got to understand is before we, kind of go into this a little deeper with the rebuttals and responses is that the psychology, you hit it on the head. This is crazy economic times right now. People are stressed about the economy, about this, about jobs, about the mortgages, crisis, all this stuff. Plus, car dealers have a certain reputation as it is. And then, like you said, you hit it on the head. They don't know what else to ask, except for what is the price? Because that's how they equate values with the prices. And then all these lead source providers, you got 1,300 leads. You don't all generate them by yourself. You get lead source providers, correct?
Yes.
You know what they do? They say, click here for price quote. Click here to get the lowest price. Click here to find out what the price costs. So what do you think people are going to do when they get to you? What's the price quote? Why? Because the button says, click here, find out what the price quote is. I know it's crazy, but we're perpetuating, a little bit of stupidity here. Not you, but the third-party providers it's not conducive to us on the sales floor. No, there's nothing that I've never seen say, click here for expert automotive advice, click here for automotive concierge, click here for automotive, consultant. They don't say that. So you get what you have to, you have to deal with what you created. Make sense? So now, put that into perspective. The number is, as per J.D. Power, Cobalt, NADA, all those, the brilliant people, way smarter than me, they basically say that a prospect is literally only, I'd say about 20% price motivated solely. Now this is important because people are probably going to watch this and be like, hey, get the hell out of here, everybody wants price. That's not what I'm saying. 80, 90% of people, 100% of people might ask you what the price is or say, I'm not coming in without a price. But at the end of the day, when the dust settles, only 20% of people are solely price motivated. I'm talking about people that wouldn't throw water on you if you were on fire unless you gave them the invoice minus holdback, right? What we need to be able to understand is that we need to identify their wants, wishes, expectations. Because first, if we quote a price to them, 96% of people are going to shop that price. That's the first problem. Second thing is that statistically, they're looking at 5 to 7 other dealerships. If they're grinding you for price, don't you think they're grinding the other stores for price, the other websites for price? Now, what you need to do is not only make them feel comfortable that you're going to take care of them, you're going to give them a great deal, and you know that pricing is important to them, but you need to find out what the real issues are. Because when somebody says, I just want the price, or what's the best price, that's the equivalent of if I have a brand new customer on the showroom floor, you know, and I greet that person, what are they gonna say? I'm just looking, I'm just looking. And if you're like, okay, then I'll go away, and when you're ready to come see me, we'd be broke. Pat, dealer, right? Yeah. Pat's a dealer. What do you tell your salespeople at your dealerships if somebody ups them, if they up somebody and they turn around and say, I'm just looking? Do you believe them?
What we do is, no, we don't believe them, and we just say, well, we're happy to help you, show you what you're looking for, and again, what's most important to you in terms of your transportation. What are your needs? What are you currently driving? And what do you want to accomplish?
Basically, again, you would not just accept that. To me, that's a reflexive thing. I'm just looking, you know? Again, people instantaneously are going to say, I want the price. That's what they think is the only thing. So our job is to be able to set the environment up the right way. So again, I'm not evading, I'm going to answer directly. The best thing you need to do is follow the process, because the first 4 steps, which is grading, ask permission to speak, state purpose of the call, pace the conversation, those are not tactical. Those are just phone etiquette 101. It's just basics. But when we ask the question, the control question, have you ever purchased a vehicle online before? It's a yes or no. If they say no, which most people still will say, then you're going to say, what were you looking to accomplish by going online? You're trying to identify the expectation. If they say price, okay, again, that's not a problem. I'm okay with that. Your protocol that you've been taught is to turn around and say, you know, one of several different rebuttals. The easy one from Toyota TQFM that, you know, the oldie but goodie is, you know, how about this? Anthony, if I wasn't able to get you the absolute best deal, I would never expect you to buy a vehicle from me, okay? And then they're either going to say, okay, but what's my damn price? I understand that. I'm a realist. So then what you're supposed to do in step 2 is hit them with a range. Oh, okay, that vehicle's between $1,495 and $1,995. But the problem is this, I'm listening to some of the coordinators with the call monitorings and stuff like that, and guess what? You guys are not following through with the transition statement, okay? I'm gonna repeat that because this is something that's very important. Anthony, let's do the rope play from step 5. Have you ever purchased a vehicle online before?
No, sir.
What are you looking to accomplish by going online?
Need to get the best price.
Well, Anthony, how about this? If I wasn't able to get you the absolute best deal, I would never expect you to buy a vehicle from me, okay?
Okay.
No, you're supposed to say, no, what's my price?
What's my price?
Okay, well, listen, that vehicle's between $14,995 and $16,995. So, with that being said, besides price, Anthony, what else is important to you in deciding where you're going to purchase your next vehicle? What I did is called an assumptive transition, okay? I'm assuming by hitting them with the range that was it, okay? That's actually a sales tactic. What happens is if you just try to hit them with the rebuttal, and like, oh, is that going to work? Is it going to work? Is it going to work? It might or might not work. You're leaving dead space. This is not like we're trained on the floor that, you know, when you go into a close, shut up, the first person that speaks loses, right? That's what we always, you know, been taught, etc. That's not how you do a rebuttal, especially on the phones. What you want to do with the rebuttal is very smoothly transition with the assumptive transition. So again, the flow is you hit them with the rebuttal and then transition to what else is important. You're further qualifying them. Does that make sense? Yes. Now let's just, this is where we're going to do it with the role play. You're going to push back on me, I'm going to do the transition, and then you're going to just like get a little aggressive and like, I want my price, all right?
Start this over really quick, okay?
Yeah, good.